Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name's Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We are in Boston, Mass, and we're meeting with a number of companies up here to learn about what's new and exciting in the world of technology, mobile, and beyond. And on our program right now is Leonie Tierney. She's in the marketing department at Feed Henry. How are you, Leonie?
I'm very well, thanks, Rich. And it's great to be here today on such a sunny day.
Yes, I haven't been outside except
beautiful.
for a few times where it seems kind of windy and a little cool, right? It's
but
December.
very sunny. It's not snowing.
Yeah, exactly. We were told it may snow today, and we'd be kind of trapped up here.
Thankfully, no snow.
So thanks for rolling out the sun for us. We appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about Feed Henry.
Okay, Feed Henry offers a mobile application platform for enterprise customers. And that allows enterprises to develop, deploy, integrate, and manage their mobile apps. So it's a complete end-to-end solution. It's a cloud-based solution, so it operates on a monthly subscription basis. The development side is all done through HTML5 and JavaScript, so it's all based on web standards. And then on our server side, we leverage Node.js. And the server side allows the integration of the app with internal IT infrastructures or with other cloud services. And we also offer some app management, typical mobile application management functionality.
And that's such an emerging area right now, just mobile HTML5, right? I mean, it's
exploding. Yeah, it's absolutely exploding, and definitely the trend is more towards enterprises adopting HTML5 versus native. In fact, the Yankee Group just released their 2010 predictions for the mobility market. Very nicely, they mentioned Feed Henry in the enterprise mobility space as one of the winners. But they said 2012 will be the tipping point where enterprises will really take on board HTML5 versus native apps.
So app stores, I don't think, are going to slow down in growth, but at the same time, they are going to have some competition in HTML5, right? So when I say they won't slow down in growth, in other words, I still think there's going to be growth, because I'm actually surprised. I was surprised last year when I kept seeing them grow and grow and grow in the number of apps that are being developed. But I think over time we'll see more and more developers say, okay, I'm just going to go the route of HTML5.
Yeah, I agree. The problem with native is the very specific skills, whereas with HTML5, any web developer really can jump on, start building an app in HTML5. And if they use a platform like Feed Henry, that app is then wrapped in the individual native wrapper and can be deployed to either an iPhone or an iPad, an Android, a BlackBerry, or a Windows Phone 7. So it's a cross-platform or multi-platform solution. And I think that means that enterprises can reduce their development time and reduce their development costs. And they don't have to hire these higher-end skills. So it's a very important tool for businesses.
Absolutely. And it seems to me that going forward, that we're going to see at some point the need for some kind of app stores that work with HTML5 the way we have app stores that are native for Android or for Microsoft or for Apple or for BlackBerry for the monetization angle. I mean, have you heard of anything, any talk there in that space?
What we come across a lot would be like the enterprise app stores, and that's a very interesting market at the moment, and there's a lot of competition, a lot of new players coming into that market, and this will really enable enterprises to set up their own internal private app stores so that they can manage all the apps that employees are bringing into the business and the apps that they use internally in the business for employee productivity or for customer engagement. So that's really a trend that I think has taken off this year, and I think will continue to be a very important thing for enterprises.
Now, are there any specific HTML5 apps that you want to discuss that you think are worth looking at?
Well, one of our big markets in the US is the healthcare sector, and we were one of the first companies to develop a HIPAA-compliant end-to-end mobile solution for Health New England. And we did this through our partnership with a company called Court Square Group. And the app is actually deployed in their cloud, which is a secure cloud. And what's interesting about the healthcare sector is this whole HIPAA compliance. So you really have to take on board total end-to-end security. So Feed Henry worked with Court Square Group and with Health New England and have launched a great app for Health New England. Their members can log on, put in their ID, and they have geolocation functionality, so they can find all the services that they need in their healthcare network.
That's great.
Yeah.
A more basic HTML5 app that I've used that I'm very happy with is the Financial Times app that's HTML5 based, and it runs really well on iPhones, on iPads.
You know, a lot of apps are developed in HTML5, and people actually don't realize it.
Right.
They think they're native.
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, I believe, use HTML5.
Yes, Pandora too. I think they
Yeah.
released their HTML5 app 3 months ago, and I tested it on an Android phone, and it works just the way it works on your PC. But I couldn't get it to work on an iPhone because you don't have access to the sound or the speaker. I guess you need to have the player, the H.264 player, and so it didn't work on an iOS device. It's just kind of interesting that even with HTML5 there are some quirks that you have to get around.
Well, interesting when you mention that, it brings to mind one of the apps that Tehrani developed for river dance. You know, the production,
Sure.
the great Irish dance routine. And that's quite a rich media type app, and we did it on the platform in HTML5, and it runs on the iPad, it runs on the iPhone, the Android, and it's a beautiful looking app.
It's great.
You'd
I'll have to check it
never
out.
think, yeah. Do.
So I just Riverdance app that just
If you
just
go
search for
into whatever device you have, go into the App Store, search for Riverdance,
that? Okay.
and you can download it.
Okay. So what's next for the company?
We've got two very big announcements that we're hoping are coming down the line very, very soon. I wish I could have mentioned them today, but I can't. And one of them is with a European telco company. So that's a very, very interesting partnership where Tehrani will be their mobility platform of choice. And this will give Tehrani great access to a huge market channel, and it will give the telco provider a service differentiator. So we'll give them a mobility solution for their small, medium-sized enterprises as well as their larger clients. And that hopefully will create a little bit more stickiness in their market amongst that client base. And on the other side of the ocean, we have a partnership with a large technology company, which equally will give us a market channel, but it's a slightly different partnership in that we're helping a full deployment into different cloud models, so microcloud, private cloud, and public cloud deployments. So that's where we're really working our cloud story.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being here today.
No, thanks, Rich. It's been great.